Okay, welcome to Off the Clock. Welcome, Moira, to Off the Clock. Somebody special to me, somebody that I've known for a long time. Never thought we'll be doing this, and but yeah, we're gonna get to know you better today. And thank you for making the time to be with us and share your personal story. So why don't you start?
Thank you so much, Peter and Mahlatse, of course. Um, yeah, like you said, my name is Moira Ellie Jimba. I am the General Manager for Africa at Radiometer. We're a Danaher company. But outside and over and above that, I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a daughter, I am a sibling. Um, I've What excites me is, and what I'm passionate about is women empowerment in ours, which is medical device space. Um, there's still a little bit of work to be done. I'm very, very excited about women being brought into the boardrooms, into powerful positions, not just in medical devices, but specifically for me, especially in medical devices. Yeah, I'm a Cape Townian, born and bred. For my sins, I live in Johannesburg now for the last 10 years, where there is no ocean and no mountain, and the wine farms are not as great as the Cape Townian ones. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Cool.
All
Klotz.
right, Moria. So I guess we can start on your career. Where you are now. Did you ever see yourself getting to this point where you are now? Was it planned? Was this always what you wanted to be when you were growing up? How was the journey like getting to this
Yeah.
point?
So definitely not. I didn't think that I was going to do this. When I was at school, I thought I wanted to be a teacher, right?
Okay,
And
it's a good position.
and then I realized how much nonsense teachers go through, and I realized now I don't want to do that. My career journey started on the other side of the instruments. I am a medtech by training. Started working for one of the largest pathology groups, but before that, I mean, we grew up. You know, it was a hard upbringing, and so I worked way earlier than it was legal to work. I used to sell ice creams before it was, but don't tell anyone that I worked before it was legal to work. And then I worked for one of the, and then I worked for one of the big retailers as a cashier on the weekends and school holidays.
Was this Pick and Pay?
It was Pick and Pay.
Free advertisement, Pick and Pay. Moira
I
worked for
didn't know.
your...
I didn't know if I was able to say the name. Yeah, and then when I started having like permanent employment was at the pathology group, but I was inside the laboratory. And then I met my now husband, and he used to say to me, "Man, you're going to be good at sales. Why don't you try selling?" And I'm like, "No, I'm a med tech. I love the sciences. I don't want to do selling." And then one day I thought, let me try it. And that was sort of the beginning of the end. That's where it all started. Worked for various smaller companies. And then the first multinational I worked for was, of course, BD. And I started as a sales rep, and my journey there finished last year. 15, almost 16 years later. And I was heading up one of the business units as a business leader.
All right. So I guess the most important question now is who is supplying you with the ice cream?
It was wow, out of all of that.
I'll give you context to that. His affinity and relationship with ice cream is very special.
I actually think I may have heard it on one of the other podcasts. Yeah. Ice cream and chocolate sauce, if I remember correctly.
I mean, he's just glorified. I don't know. It stuck with him more than it stuck with me. I
Yeah.
still like it, but for him, I don't know
Wait,
how
wait,
it
wait.
hits
Just
him.
stop right there. Even now, we do these things
Yeah.
once a month. We have a kind of a family dinner, call it extended family
Yeah.
lunch or dinner. He still orders the same thing, so it can't be stuck with me
No, no, no,
if you're
no.
eating
I
it.
like I said, I still eat it, but it's more of a thing for him because
Okay.
he likes bringing it up. Like to this
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
he's the one who's always talking about it. It's not me.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
order it and eat it and enjoy it, but
But-
he's the one who's always putting spotlight on it.
How often do you not order the ice cream for dessert?
Well, when I don't always order dessert, I don't actually have dessert that
Okay.
often. So
Okay.
it's like, and also
That's
it
the
depends
only
on the
dessert
plate.
he orders.
Yeah, but also it's like the desserts at the place because I don't eat cake and all that other stuff. So I don't want to say I'm picky, but like I'm
You
very
can say
simple.
you're picky.
Very simple. Because my sister, her dessert, like because, and this is a real thing, and what I'm trying to say is that he likes spotlighting me with this
Yeah.
ice cream and chocolate sauce thing. My sister, since I started ordering that, my sister's been ordering chocolate fondant, but it's never a thing for him to say that about my sister.
Okay.
Can you see? And my sister still orders it to this day. I had dinner with my sister last week.
And she ordered that?
She ordered the chocolate
Yeah.
fondant. And I just had ice cream. No chocolate
No
sauce,
chocolate
just
sauce.
ice cream.
Ah, okay.
So I'm
Okay.
just saying, he likes spotlighting this thing, but when
Just
it comes
to-
to my sister, it's like,
Just to let you in the family affair thing, I think I've seen my son the happiest when he's having his ice cream and chocolate sauce. He's like
but this
in a
was
place
like when I was
where,
old.
and he's kind of maintained that.
Okay. Okay.
or
Then it is
whereas-
something special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, and just from a observation standpoint, whereas when I've seen the sister always like to order this chocolate fondant, which takes minimum 20 minutes to make, and they still get it wrong. And so it's not a kind of a memorable experience. It often
Yeah.
doesn't end well. There's been 2 occasions where we waited for 30 minutes. They said, look, it didn't come okay. It fell apart. We're going to make it again.
Redo it.
Redo
Yeah.
it. So we still waited. We were tired on a holiday away, wanting to go to sleep. She said, look, this is holiday, guys. I want my chocolate fondant.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And she got it.
Oh, you guys waited for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
like second attempt, they got it right. And she was like, I'm happy.
I could have ordered
Like that.
3
Chocolate.
plates of ice cream and chocolate sauce at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe more kind of serious and personal. You got a double barrel surname,
I
Moira Ellie Jimba.
Jimba.
You speaking about your husband. How did you meet him?
Phew. I wanna give a different story, but the truth is we met at a bar.
Not a nightclub.
The
No, it was
whole,
a bar.
I met her at a bar. It's a classic story. I like this already.
Yeah, so my surname is Ellie Jimba. Ellie was my surname. I'm married to a Xhosa man with surname Jimba. Yeah, and he was friends with somebody I was seeing before. And
I mean, look, let me just understand and follow the story. He was a friend with your ex.
yes.
Okay. All
But
right.
at the time I met him, it was already far X. So I want to maybe just clarify the timelines.
So it wasn't awkward.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, I met him in Cape Town. He was funny. I just remember the first time, and it's a long time ago now. The first time, we met, it was just so much fun. This guy was funny. But
I think just to stop you right there, like quick caveat, I think she's the first lady that's appeared and said that her husband is funny. The rest have not mentioned
But-
such a quality.
But she also said he was, like in the past.
No.
I was about to follow up.
so I'm talking about when we met. He was really funny, and I think that was part of really what
The attraction.
the attraction. But you're very right. Right now, when it's like 30 years later, sometimes I just don't want you to be that funny. Can we just not make fun of everything, right? But I think it's like that with everybody.
Why you outgrown that?
Not so much, but you know when
She's tired of his
when
jokes.
things when serious things go down, right? There's a time and place for everything, in my opinion, and yeah, and so why are you laughing?
I'm just trying to picture you're trying to fix something in the house.
And he's cracking a
Is
joke.
Funny.
Yeah, he was, feeling, and generally it's okay, but there are times that you're just like, stop it. And the other thing so I'm not a morning person, right? I like to be awake early.
We'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about that because that's important when it comes to the funny. I just don't want to be joked with before I've had my coffee.
Okay. Okay. So must he come with coffee and a joke?
No, you must just come with coffee and then leave me alone. I will indicate when I'm ready
Okay.
to be interacted with.
All right, no problem. So my question went out of my head now.
I can follow up because he said, like this guy because he was funny, and it looks like he's still funny because they're still together. And you're saying you're not a morning person, and I mean I know you very well, right? For many years, and also by the way, just to put you at ease, I'm not a morning person as well. So how I know you're in a tough job. How's your sleep like? How many hours do you do of sleep?
I need 6-7 hours.
Okay.
But the quality of sleep depends on what is happening at work generally.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Sometimes it's crunch time, sometimes it's budget time, sometimes things are not going as well or you're dealing with a big, massive problem. Then I would sleep, but I'd need much less sleep. 3-4 hours, my eyes would pop open and I'd be thinking about the issue. Right?
You don't like sleeping pills?
No, only when I travel. Only when I travel and on the long haul flights that I need to step into an important meeting, then I'll take one. But generally, no, I don't. So I need 6-7 hours. But the quality of sleep depends on what's happening at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say you're like, if you're not a morning person, if you do say 12, you're up at 7?
I never do 12. I do 10, 11, and I'm up at 5.
Oh, that's more than enough.
It is.
It's like 7, 8.
7 hours, 10 o'clock. From about after 4, 4:30, 5, I'm aware. I don't always get up at the same time. On the gym days, I do get up early. Yeah, it's a good amount of sleep.
Okay.
All right. So off air you mentioned like have a daughter, matric now. How is the transition with you and your husband going from you have a child who's basically in high school, the end of high school, going into this new phase? How is that for you, especially since, I mean, you are the mom? How is that transition? Like, how are you guys coping with that? I mean, you said earlier that you're going to have your husband needs to find something else to do if the daughter gets up and leaves, goes down to Cape Town and all that. So.
Yeah. It's hard, Mahlatse, for a couple of reasons. One, she's very smart. She's a solid young lady. But we have also taught her to be an independent thinker. So there's very little that you can slip by her. She'll challenge you, right? That's the good thing and sometimes the bad thing. I think what I struggle with is more and more, almost every day, she proves to us that we were successful at what we wanted to do with her. Because you raise your children, and your dad will tell you raise your children and you want them to be independent. You want them to need you less and less. But then you're not so prepared for it when it actually happens.
Like separation anxiety?
A lot of separation anxiety. I want her to be okay, and I want her to be out in the world, but I also want her to be close so that I can be there, with the net to catch her if need be. And so in that way it's hard. But I think it's almost harder for my husband because I've been traveling for my work since I've been a rep. And it's always been the two of them together. And so they were much closer. And I think for him, it's probably going to be a little bit harder. And you're right, I did say to him, get a hobby, have something to do when she's not there for you to focus on. Because
Wow,
I've got my
that's,
job. I'm busy, right? I mean, I won't be there, and as often as she is. So I think it's hard. I don't know how well we're doing in preparation. I think we could possibly do better.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So maybe let me follow up because I think it's important now that we're talking about children. Do you stress when you phone her and she doesn't pick up? What sort of a
yes.
picture do you think when she doesn't pick up the phone? What do you think? You
Peter,
think about
I'm always thinking the
911?
worst. Yes. I
Okay.
mean, I've got to be honest and say, I'm always thinking something crazy bad has happened. And now, especially when I'm not around, when I'm not in the country, I stress. So we have an agreement. You have to answer. Please. And if you see a missed call afterwards, you need to at least phone me back or text me back.
Okay. What do you think your husband thinks when he phones her and she doesn't pick up? Can't be the same as you.
I probably does. He probably does think that.
But I
Probably
mean,
the same
Why would
extreme,
it-
just a different
yeah.
scenario.
but it sounds like a guy who's funny and joking and,
Probably
He's
not about his little
light-hearted, but
girl.
I mean, he's would be worried for his daughter's well-being. And if you're not answering, what has happened? But I'll
Because-
ask him. I'll ask him. I'll let
Yeah,
you know.
please ask him because, I recently saw this, somebody put this on a kind of a social media, a picture of 4 quadrants and saying, and actually it was a guy, and I was talking to you about it last night, saying, this is a picture of my mom when she phones me and I don't answer.
Yeah.
She sees me exactly like you're saying, 911, going to the hospital, chips on my mouth, I can't speak, drama all around, somebody's dying.
Yeah.
And when my dad calls and I don't answer, sees a picture of me, police handcuffing me, going to jail for doing stupid things and bad stuff. And then when my girlfriend calls and doesn't find me, see me jollying in a
With-
party with
yes.
girls without her. And then the 4th quadrant, he had the real picture is I'm fishing alone, peacefully. I don't
okay.
want any of the noise from my parents, my girlfriend. I just want to be alone.
Okay.
So
Okay, I'll
Think
check
about
with both
that.
of them. I'll check with Zara, but I'll also check with my husband to check. Yeah, what is it when you think that is happening when she's not answering? Yeah.
food for thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's interrupted.
So, with your husband, what was I mean, you have 1 kid. Did you not ever think about having more, like maybe building an army of children?
So I'm the youngest of 5. He's the eldest of 4. So we both come from fairly big families. By the time I realized I wanted another baby, she was very independent already. She could speak. She could say, "Mom, I'm hungry. Mom, my finger hurts. My tummy is sore." And I thought, it would be great to have another baby, but oof, it would not be great to have another baby.
How old was that?
She was maybe 4 or 5, I think.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a good age to have another baby.
Probably would have been a good age, but I just didn't want. So babies are so dependent on you for
Everything.
like, and I was just like, no, we've been through that. Let's not do it again. And sometimes I regret it. She's asked me the question before, why didn't I have a sibling for her? And I gave her the same answer. I said, by the time I really realized that I wanted to have another baby, you were already independent, and I was not up for it.
That's not a very good reason there.
Well, it is my reason. It's your opinion that it's not a
it's
good
original, reason. I accept that. But,
that is the reason, if you find it good or not. Yeah, it was good enough to stop me from having another.
Okay, all right. That's I mean, I'm saying this from experience, and I mean, we meet a lot of parents, a lot of people, executives like you. And I guess it's horses for horses. I mean, some people, the last lady we interviewed had 3 kids, and I mean, she's a CA. The spacing was very scientific, was 7 years each.
Oh, yeah.
7 years, 14, 21. Like 7-year gap from each kids. Yeah.
And why did she say?
Family
why
planning,
she did that?
Moira. Family planning.
Family planning.
Family planning. Having children by choice, not by chance.
Yeah, no. Or not having the second one by choice, not
yes.
by chance.
But
yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's
absolutely.
that. But I mean, the reason that you gave me is still original.
Well, it's the truth. But I mean, I can't speak for what it's like for her to be an only child, because both myself and my husband come from big families. So I think there are good things and there are bad things. I think the bad is, as a parent, you have to make an effort to socially integrate them because they don't have the siblings at home, right? Yeah. The good thing is I was able to give her a life that was very different to my upbringing. And that is a good thing.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, every child has got their own experience of their own life according to, it's their own frame of reference, you know. If you ask him and the sister or other family where they just 2 kids, they'll say, you know, we should have
had more.
I mean, I know a friend of mine, they 3 kids, and said, look, my parents always wanted 2 more. And it's like, we think it's going to be practically difficult. You move from a sedan to a bus, you know, when you move around. So practically, I think it's it can be very challenging. But it's different families, different setup. And also, my experience is raising children that are spaced far apart. They tend to be so dissimilar, like
very different.
You know, who are you type of a thing. Like, you know, if they grow up together, share stuff.
What's far apart though? What is
7, 8
years is,
you know, it's
far
like why is the kid coming into my room? You know, I'm still sleeping. Think about you having a 7-year-old brother.
What, right now?
Right now.
Yo, I'd be like, you guys really chose so late to have this.
No, forget about us. You how you relate to your brother.
Because what I'm trying to
10,
say is that I feel like because I've spoken about this with my sister before, is that what if you and mom had more kids, like either 1 more or 2 more, and how that would have affected her and I, because I think at the end of the day, I am the last born, even though I'm the second child. I'm the last born. But the way I see it is that if you had like another kid or another 2 kids, it's like it would have made me grow up a little bit faster because of...
Much faster.
Yeah, much faster. And like I acknowledge that because then I'd be like, okay, have to be like, in a way, it's like role model. I have to take care of them. I have to be this. And I already know how mom would have been if me and Tepi were literally the oldest kids in the house. Like everything would have just fallen onto us. Would have been shouted at saying, "You guys are the oldest. You are
look after the baby.
You must do
Yeah.
this." Like I can already see that picture in my head. So it's like
Yeah.
the reality of having younger siblings in the, like, especially if it happened when we were also still young, like before we got to the ages of, like, let's say 21, if we still had. But also I don't know how much difference it would have made if, like, the kids, if they, like, if I had younger siblings that were like really really younger than me, like if you guys decided like when I was 10 years old you wanted more kids, it's like, okay,
Oh, 15
we wouldn't,
years.
yeah, we wouldn't be as, it would there would still be our siblings, but that's kind of connection that like me and my sister have, because me and my
Wouldn't have
sister
been
are
there.
close. There wouldn't have been, there would have been like a way more different relationship. Like I'm more like your uncle at this
Yeah.
point than I am your brother.
Yeah.
So I've thought about it and I was just like, I don't know. But then again, I mean, if that was the situation, would have just got on with it, right?
Yeah. As we do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Moira, I know you've kind of traveled quite a bit locally and internationally. Your two favorite cities around the world, home and away?
Okay, I'm going to start with the easy one.
It's
Home.
Cape Town, right? I
Yes.
think. There's no prize for that.
No, but seriously, I mean, Cape Town is just, guys, I mean, it's, yeah, it's, yeah. So they're very definitely Cape Town on the African continent. Abroad, Amsterdam, I really enjoyed a lot.
Okay, what did you enjoy at Amsterdam? I mean, that's like some place, right?
Yeah. So
It's
I
very
always say,
flat there.
but also the nature of Amsterdam will teach you who you are if you don't arrive in Amsterdam knowing who you are.
What, unpack that for us. I mean,
I was also about to say, explain what you actually mean.
Because everything is so available and accessible.
everything, what, food? What do you mean?
Food, drugs, alcohol, everything is there. It's
Keep
available.
going.
It's available. So you need to know who you are and where you stand with those things before it's just readily available. Because sometimes, people don't realize necessarily that part of the reason they don't do certain things is because it's either illegal or it's difficult to access or they will be frowned upon in a society. Not necessarily because it's their choice. Then you get to a place where none of those rules exist.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Everything is just available.
Are you talking about the red light district?
Also, the red light district, everything, right?
Are you talking about cannabis?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it's just available there. So unless you know where you stand with access to those
To
things,
drugs?
people,
Okay.
and Amsterdam will teach you. You will leave Amsterdam thinking, "Whew, now I know that about myself."
Was
But
this
that's
your
what-
experience?
No.
going
So
there?
I knew who I
It's
was.
very similar to Cape Town, right?
Different to Cape Town. Different. Cape Town has freedoms, but not like
No,
Amsterdam.
but-
No,
but
I
close.
I arrived there knowing who I am and knowing a lot where I stand with a lot of those things. So yeah, but I've seen it also gone wrong. But it's a lovely city. So to answer your question, probably Amsterdam internationally and definitely Cape Town locally.
Okay. I'll do this one and then hand over to you. Like, what about the food? Do you cook? What
I
type of
love
food
to
do
cook.
you really, your favorite dish?
There are two things that I do very well. One is a lamb curry.
So you're a good cook?
I'm an excellent cook.
Okay.
I
All
will-
right.
Love the
Sound like
confidence. That was
direct
confidence,
marketing.
yeah.
I'm good. I'm a good cook.
No, I am.
So, I mean, if we ask your husband, he will
Yeah.
confirm that even if you're not there, I mean,
Even
if
if I'm
you're
not
there, it's
there.
different. You know?
Anybody in my
Give him
life,
a
you
look.
can ask, and then and you should ask them when I'm not there.
Yeah, that's probably the best time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, so I like that. But I also do a mean ribeye steak on the fire.
Wow.
I'll make it for you, Peter.
And you pair it with? Goes with?
So my absolute favorite with ribeye is a very plain green salad and fries, which I'll make
okay.
everything. That's my
You
favorite.
also make fries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you sound shocked, Peter?
We're just trying to get comfortable with you.
Yeah. So those two things I love making, and I'm very good at it. Yeah. To eat. So the tricky thing with steak is some places get it very wrong. You know, when you travel on the African continent, you cannot ask for a rare steak.
Well, yeah.
You can ask for it, but you may not get it.
Yeah. It's not done like that.
Yeah, it's
They're
not
like
done like
burning
that.
the meat.
Killing
It must
it.
be killing it a second time. Must be dead. So I quite like anything from the sea. I love to eat seafood, fish, prawns, anything from the sea.
Okay, the Cape Town influence.
What about the more cultural dishes? Where do you stand with those?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Can you do that?
I can do that. Yes, I
But
can
not
cook.
as good as the curry.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not as good as the curry.
So it comes with what? Hard body or
Can do hard body or beef stew is
soft
lovely.
body?
Sometimes you just go to a good. You walk into the other retailer and then just buy the soft body. But also they do sell hard body now.
Yeah, I've seen the
Yeah, they
hard
do.
bodies.
Yeah.
Woolworths now.
Yeah,
It's like they've caught up with the culture
Yeah.
finally.
So they've got mosh in tins and hard body pens and it tastes good. We've
Does-
tried it.
Your daughter, does she like the hard body?
She likes a lot of food. She's an easy eater. She's always been since she's been a baby. So yes, she
Okay.
is. Yeah.
It's funny because we like it at home, but this guy's him and the sisters like we don't relate.
Yeah, well,
You don't like
grew
it
up.
so much?
No, it's not about liking it. It's just about like what we're used to. Well, they're used to it because that's what they grew up with. And then
Yes.
now in today's day and age, with how everything is so like readily available, so buying chicken from Woolworths is always going to be different from
Hard body.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So. And then also at the same time, it's like it's kind of your guys' fault because you weren't feeding us
They
hard
weren't
body when we were
exposing you
growing
to.
up. So it's like
Yeah, but then also not for Zara so much. She's only now recently been exposed to it. So yeah, but she likes it. She eats it.
So, Moira, something else we like to ask on Off the Clock is, especially you have a smaller family than most people. So, how do you spend time with your daughter in terms of getting to know her as a person, hobbies that you two bond over, you know, stuff like that? Because, I mean, she's your only child, so and there's probably a very strong bond and connection there.
Yeah.
And also maybe before you start, Moira, what we've seen and heard from other leaders, it's a variation of different stories on how they do it. Some, you know, in yourself, they'll have a girls' night with the daughter and really drink those pina coladas and party and really get to know each other. Yeah, if you can let us in that.
So she's too young for the pina coladas, and it was never going to be pina coladas because I don't drink pina coladas. But we used to have mommy-daughter days. So when I said I traveled a lot, it really was a lot. So there would be weeks that I would spend 3 weeks out of the country, come home Friday, leave Sunday, or come home Saturday morning, leave Sunday. So I had to be very deliberate with creating time for us. And I realized that it was necessary because at some point when she was just out of toddler stage, I used to come home on Fridays and Zara used to say to me, Dad and I are doing this tomorrow. What are you going to do?
Oof.
So she was already excluding me because I wasn't
Girl.
there, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized I've got to be deliberate with creating time with her. So the good thing is we both like reading. So very often we would just go sit in a place, have lunch, each take a book. She's very artistic, so sometimes we would just go do something arty. But she shares my joy that I get from food. And so we would find new places to go eat. She would send me, while I'm traveling during the week, she'd send me a clip she'd see somewhere about a place and then say, okay, on our next mummy-daughter day, we'll go here. So that's how I've tried staying close and connected to her, because I think that's key, especially for girl children, to send them out into the world knowing they are connected, knowing where they belong, knowing their worth. I think that's key.
Okay. And how do you do that with your husband?
There, I have to be honest and say I'm not so good at that.
Okay, why is
Yeah.
that? Is it because of time constraints, work?
A little
or-
bit of that, but I'm a very outdoorsy person. I love to go out with my friends, go and have a drink somewhere, a meal somewhere. If there's an event for somebody's child's fundraiser, I'll go. My husband is less outgoing. He likes us to be home. He likes me to cook a nice meal for him and be there, right? So it becomes a little bit trickier to spend time with him. Now, not so much, because now it's better. Because, I will say, I'd really like us to go. If Peter's invited us to dinner, I'd like us to go. I'd like us to go to the Whiskey Festival. I'd like us to go here. And then we'll go. But in the past, and also you must remember, if there were only 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, that was available, one day is for Zara, next day is for prepping and packing because we're traveling elsewhere,
Yeah.
right? And so I have to be honest and say I don't think I've done as well as I did with Zara as with my husband.
So maybe the question that we asked a lot of, leaders or executives to come on off the clock is around perception. How do your team perceive you as Madame Boss, scared of you, think you are, not real, think you're living a perfect life. Every night you go home to a beautiful mansion, eat very well, Norwegian salmon with caviar and some vegetables
This
around
is the
it.
whole script for
Yeah, and when you're done, you sit on a jacuzzi and drink rosé wine, and when you're tired, you go to sleep. What is, the difference between that kind of perception of Moira and the reality? Do they see you that way, or?
I don't think so. I think that I think there's a level of separation between leaders like us and people who report into us, and I think some level of that is healthy. But that gap can't be too big, because then you are not connected to your people, right? But also you can't really force people. You can just show them who you are in your decision making, what you do, how you run the business, how you treat them as people. But they still need to get to learn to know you. If they do see me as that, they've got it very wrong. The one thing that's possibly
Well, you don't
right
like
is
jacuzzi?
I don't, in fact. I don't own one. I don't really like it. I like to swim in the ocean, Peter. But I do have a drink every single day.
Not in a jacuzzi.
Not in a jacuzzi. But I do. It depends on the type of day that I had. The drink that I have depends on that. Okay. It was a good, easy day. We're having a glass of bubbles. If it was, oh my goodness, what was that kind of day? It's a
glass, though.
single malt.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a whiskey. It's
Something
it's
really
something.
strong.
Yeah. If it was an in between day, a good glass of red wine. But I do. I have a drink every day.
Okay.
I feel like you go like the way I'm picturing this is like when you get home, it's like you're like, what
Yes,
type of day
that's
did I have
exactly.
today? Looking at everything, and it's like you look good.
Yes, it really is that. Yeah, and so that's not my life. There's very little glamour around my life. And very often, and Peter, you would know this, people think that traveling abroad for work is glamorous. It's just hard.
Tell them.
I
painful.
always say, some people take a bus or a taxi or a train to work. We happen to take a plane. But we still have to go and do the work.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It gets lonely, as you would know.
So, talking about getting lonely or being alone, what are the things that you do to make yourself happy on those long trips and when you're alone? I can tell you what I do. I like to read and write and collect music and movies, and they just keep me, together. Those three things, they get me going. What about you?
I do very little when I'm traveling.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is being done with the meetings for the day, coming to my hotel room, ordering a burger and fries, sit in my bed, and eat room service. I do very little because when I'm not traveling, I'm busy. There's Zara, I want to give her attention. There's my family. I love spending time with my family. There are commitments at school. There's commitments to friends. There's a lot going on. So I don't have that much of alone time and me time and quiet time here. So when I'm away, I speak to my family every day. I speak to Zara twice a day, before and after school. And then I love to just chill. I don't do a lot, and it does get lonely.
Wow. So, Tlats, maybe one last question, and then maybe we give Moira an opportunity to kind of a revenge and ask us a few questions, and then we do parting shots.
I think this is an interesting question. You were at the off the clock events that we did in August.
Yes.
Yes. What was your favorite moment about that whole thing?
Of course, the celebrating the birthday. I couldn't believe it's been a year, and I think I told you. I sent you a message
you
saying,
said that like, what is this?
can it already be a year? Did time fly like that? I liked the fact that your panel, it was well thought out in that there was a variety of people there, gender, race, etc., all leaders in their field, but they were very vulnerable. They were very open. They shared openly, and I loved that. I think that you guys put that together spectacularly well. And I always quite like to see the two of you together, because there's a specific rhythm. I don't think you realize how much you are like your dad.
I think he likes reminding me how much I'm like my mom.
No. You're a
She
lot like
she
your dad.
doesn't know your mom.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, it's like, I'm mostly told I'm more like my mom than my dad. My sister's the one who gets told that she's like my dad.
When I see the
What do
two
you
of you
think?
together,
I think when I was younger, I was very much like my mom.
And
I think now those qualities are still, those characteristics are still there, but I think I've been made aware of those things now. So the self-awareness is a lot greater. So I would say I'm trying to build myself up to be not to say that the things that I share with my mom are bad things, but I'm just also trying to build up other things to maybe like differentiate myself from my mom more. maybe also pick up more qualities that you have and also what she has, and like make them work together just to make it seem like I'm a better balance of the both of you.
Yeah.
So what is interesting is the previous CEO that we spoke, very similar to me, cool, calm, and collected, and was saying, because we exchanged some of the experiences, and was saying, my guy, called the husband, my guy, is like your mom, like, but in the most complimentary way, and say, look, he's not cool. He's quick to say, things are falling apart. What are you going to do? It's about to snow, or it's thunder everywhere. And those two are kind of, good
that
together.
Balance is necessary.
It's like,
same for me. Kennedy is very relaxed. There's very little that phases
him. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the past, right at the beginning of our relationship, he used to say, "Are you done? Are you done freaking out about something? We're going to do X, Y, and Z, right?" And for a woman who's busy freaking out about something, that question, "Are you done freaking out about it?"
Well, kill him, finish him.
Yeah. That's what. To answer your question. That's what I loved about that event. Really, really great. Well put together. Well thought out.
All right, thank you.
So I think what is good is we, in terms of the question that I think you may be asking me is where to from here, is basically off the clock guests like yourself. Eventually, the next step we take you in-person events like that, bringing in a leadership idea, wellness or mental wellness, or diversity and inclusion as a topic that needs to be tackled. So that's where we're going. That's the kind of the bigger picture of this, But each person's personal story is like, as you've seen, it's for instance, when you did the in-person event with Tumelo, very interesting personal story as well. She's like Iron Lady. She cycle, run, swim like hard, but she's also a regulator who's happy to be a doctor and make sure that the medicine that you drink, it's healthy, safe.
No, I'm looking forward to those in-person events. More of it. Yeah. You said a question that I have for you. Maybe I'll start with you, Mahlatse.
Okay.
What brings you joy?
I think I'm too young to answer that question, eh?
You need to find that, because the world is busy. The world can get hectic.
And it's also changing.
Exactly.
It's evolving.
So you've got to know what brings you joy.
Yeah, no, so...
And you strive for that.
I think we need to do a rain check on my answer for that question.
We will make time for it.
But that's a very good question.
Yeah. Yes. And then my question to you, Peter. I've always been very open how much of a mentor you've been to me. You've been a huge part of my success. So when you look at me in the position that I hold today, and you hear in the industry what is being said, what I'm achieving or not achieving, what are your thoughts?
I'm very proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
And I think I've always trusted the process that, in leadership, you see the spark in somebody, and 9 out of 10, you're not wrong. And that's what I saw on you from the beginning, that you have the spark for leadership and to grow into things. And you've been very consistent into the whole thing. What I've always liked about you is the balance and the maturity. Even though maybe you're saying you're the drama queen at home, you never really brought drama at work, which I think centered you a lot. And I think that's what has carried you from being a rep, a manager, a senior manager, and a general manager or MD. So very proud of having mentored you and having seen you get that. And also, it's probably a good message that, I advocate for four things, kind of as a lifelong, way of contributing, not giving back, because giving back means you've taken too much. So women empowerment, it's a big, drive that I do. I'm sure you've seen how I've been driving it through Summit and also with Women Empowerment Index. So, if you talk and see examples like this, you sleep well at night. So I think you personify that example that, Peter is not just a talk show, it's a doer. A lot of women as well hate men who talk, no action. I like action.
Thank you.
So I'm really very proud to see that. And Tanya Vogt, who's the CEO or executive officer of Summit, has kind of acknowledged the support and the leadership style of empowering her and allowing her to be herself and like just blossoming. And a lot of women kind of like a little bit of that, But then, dealing with women in general is tough because women are tough.
We are complex,
brutally honest sometimes, and they tell you their mind, and then sometimes at the wrong time. And I always say this and say sometimes you have to show the right amount of anger at the right time to the right person. So that way is better. But like you give me all the anger at the wrong time, it breaks me.
So I have two things I need to say. First, answer to your question, or a less serious answer to your question, it's ice cream and chocolates. Another thing, and this is what I wanted to ask both of you, is because in the beginning you spoke about how you also push women empowerment. You want to see women in the boardroom and all in positions of leadership and all that. So for both of you, when you driving this, and what is in your heads and like your experience of it, what is the ideal version of what that looks like when you say you have women empowerment? Like, what is the impact that, like the tangible impact that you've seen and experienced, both of you, that having women in boardrooms, having women in leadership roles, like what is the real immediate impact that you see when you have women in those roles? You've pushed, like with Moira, she's in this position because you support these causes and all that. So what is the impact in the company that you see once you have women in all those roles?
I think I can go first. I think women lead fundamentally differently. They behave differently under high pressure situations, but they also lead with more empathy, I think. And I mean, I'm not knocking men in leadership positions.
Go ahead.
But they are more empathetic leaders, and that's important, right? Because no matter how great a strategist you are as a leader, if your people are not on board with you, you're not going anywhere. None of the goals will be reached. None of the KPIs will have green, when we're reporting back. So that is the fundamental difference. That's what good looks like to me when I see women in leadership positions, is that how much more empathetic they lead. And they get things done because of that empathy that they show.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Women lead and feel differently. Women lead through relationships. They mother you, they love you if they work with you, but don't piss them off because they'll smack you. Whereas men will kind of, they lead with the head, not with the heart. They won't hug you. They'll show you a lot of tough love, men. And get through all that and connive a lot and show very little emotions most of the time, which is, sometimes it's like, and I've seen it. I mean, I had a experience of having a female leaders. They appreciate you if you're doing well. Whereas when I had my boss being a man and doing well, they will never tell me I'm doing well. They will say I'll be big-headed if they tell me that. They're like, so if you ask me which do I want, a boss who's a man or who's a woman, I'll take a woman every day because they will love me. They will make me feel good all the time. But, just to coach you and give you some tricks, if you get into that, and I know your boss is a woman, so yeah, don't get in trouble with them. You will know.
So have you guys have you been in a situation where you've seen a nice balance of having the male leaders and the female leaders, and those things you just spoke about complement each other very well? Or is it usually unbalanced?
I think it also depends on how a leader builds their leadership team, right? There has to be that balance.
Yeah.
Because it can't all be soft, but it can't all be hardcore all the time. So I think the most successful companies that I've seen has been where a leader has been able to build a leadership team, which is the level just below us, that's well balanced.
Okay.
Yeah, with the genders.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's never so straightforward. But I mean, where I had a female boss, or it's what I like is the honesty. The boss is not your friend. They will like you if you're performing and getting work done. That's why I think in the past you guys asked me, would you rather have a good boss or a bad boss? I don't care. A good job or a bad boss. I'd rather have a good job and a bad boss because the respect I'll earn over time. I don't care. If you're my boss, just be honest with me, support me, don't BS me.
Yeah.
That's fine. One day we'll like each other and have drinks together, but in the beginning, I need to get the job going. And you will be knowing that I'm becoming indispensable to your team. If I'm not taking, you can't achieve the global results. So that's what I've seen. And those female bosses that I have, I think I had one or two actually. They've been brutally honest with me, and I also enjoyed that. In terms of saying, do you want to do this or not? Are you in or out? I love that.
All right, then. Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Moira, if you don't have any more parting questions, thank you very much for really making the time to spend with us on Off the Clock. I hope you really enjoyed this and traveling the journey with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, both of you. Really, this was fantastic. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yes. Thank you, Moira.